Hello and welcome to this new tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to make a spline like this. It's compatible with roads, walls, even fences, pretty much anything that you have. So, to begin, I'm just going to make a blueprint class and it's going to be an actor. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Spline Tutorial. I just draft this in here. So one thing to note before starting, you can use any one of your own meshes for this, but I'm just going to be using this pipe that is just in the starter content. And so what you notice with this pipe is that if you go to wireframe mode, you see this edge right here, this little cut. So this is really important because that cut lets it bend and all that stuff. So to start, I should probably keep this open. To start, we're just gonna go to our spline and add a spline component, and we're gonna code in the construction script. So first, let's create a variable and call it length. Yeah. So I'm just going to make that instance editable so we can see it. And so what the length needs to be is basically the length of this pipe or your mesh. So right here, you open up your mesh and it says on mine is 30 by 100 by 30. So my length would be 100, and I would just type 100 here. So to start, I'm just going to drag in the spline. I'm going to get the spline length, and I'm going to divide this by our section length, so I find out how many meshes are needed for our spline, and then we will truncate this. So what truncate does, as you will probably be familiar with, is it just chops off the decimal. So yeah, and so before we put this in a for loop, we need to do some things with the length. So we will set the length to the scale get actor scale 3D, and we're going to split this and multiply the y by 100. Now, the reason that I am multiplying this by the y is because in my pipe, my forward axis is my y. So if let's say you have a fence and its forward axis is the x, you would multiply the x by basically the section length of or basically just the length of your mesh. I hope that wasn't too confusing. So now from here, we're going to add a spline mesh component, and I'm just gonna put that there, and I'm just gonna set the collision of this to collision enabled, so my pipe has collision, and I'm gonna set the forward axis to my Y, and yeah. Now I'm going to set the start and end of this. Set start and end. So you want to know when the mesh starts, you want to end. We're going to drag the spline in, and then we're going to say get location at distance along spline, and our distance is going to be our index multiplied by our length. Say integer multiplied by a right here. Now, so this will be our start position, and so now we're just gonna get our tangent. We're gonna multiply this by a float, which is gonna be length, and we're gonna drag out of our spline, say get tangent at distance along spline, and so that will just be plugged straight in to our start tangent. Now for the end, it's pretty simple also. All you have to do is get a +1 and plug it into both of these. And also for here, we should probably clamp the tangents to kind of prevent it from getting really big. So we're just gonna clamp the vector size to 0 and our length. Same for here. I'm just gonna clamp the vector size. To that, and I'm going to plug this into the end tangent. The end position will also go to this. So this is basically our finished product. So yeah, that's it. So if we just go and test this out. Oh, and sorry, we forgot to set the mesh. So here when you add the spline mesh component, you just choose the mesh that you're using. So I'm using a pipe. So now I have my pipe right here. And I can drag it here, drag it up, left, and also a bonus too. If let's say you don't want it to be a line, you want it to be a circle or a closed line, all you have to do is go down to spline and say closed loop. And if you just take that, then it will be a closed loop, and you can kind of alter it. Let's say you want to make a racetrack. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned something from it.